So let's talk about the daily field analysis. This is essentially what your classroom looks like as soon as you come in. Don't worry if this isn't specifically your class, your semester. It is the last time I've made a significant change to the assignment, so I'm making a new video. And if it changes enough again, I'll make a new video again. So this is what it looks like when you first log in. You can see that I am on the home page. In order to find the assignment, if you go into modules, which is essentially where you should start for everything. The assignment itself is due at the end of module two. You can see that Eagle just took me there because I was already here. And here it is, daily field analysis. The quick description of this assignment is that your task is to use your sociological imagination to look at your everyday life. Sociology is the scientific study of human behavior, specifically as a part of society or in groups. And the best way for you to do that is just sort of observe your day. It's important that you know that you need a log of your day to do that, and I'll show you some samples of what that'll look like in this video. But don't sit down to do the assignment without having gotten a log of your day. Otherwise, you're not prepared to do it. So you will create a detailed log by observing and recording your day. And then you will use this template in order to complete the assignment. The first tip that I want to tell you is if you're looking at this, I'm looking at it in the student view, so I'm assuming that this is how you see it. You can see the rubric for this assignment. It's important in this assignment or any assignment in any class to check out the rubric so that you can get some sense of how you're going to be graded. You can see that this assignment is 15 points. You can find how you earn all 15 of those points here. Each one of these criterion are sections on the template you'll find. So it's all aligned. You should know how you're going to be graded. So check out the rubric before you do the assignment, but certainly check it out before you submit, so that you can determine, essentially check yourself, see if you've done everything that you needed to do. So, step that you're going to take in the template, getting the template. You can see here that you download the template. When you get it, it is set as a download. So you can either download it here, and when you do that, it's going to go to your computer. And then you need to pay attention to where it's going. For me, my downloads go straight to my download folder. It's in a Microsoft Word document. When you look at it and you open it, you can work directly into it. So this is what the assignment looks like, and the template is already set up for you. If you follow along with it, you'll pretty much get everything that you need to do. So the first thing that you're going to do is observe your day. And in doing so, you'll create a log. You can see here that I'm saying share this log with me at the bottom of the template. So I'll show you what some of those sort of samples of previous students' logs were like, but it's important that I see that log. So you can see that I'm saying part one, go observe your day, but then make sure you give me the log itself. At the bottom, you can just copy and paste it, right? Just copy, paste it, add the picture, whatever. If you don't feel like you can put it on the same template, you're welcome to upload it separately in the assignment, but just make sure I get it. So let me share some of these sample logs. This person simply just typed it up. Maybe they had it written and then typed it before they gave it to me, or maybe they kept a document open on their phone. Not sure, but this is what their log looked like. This student used something like Microsoft Excel, and same thing. This is just what their log looked like. It can be anything. Yell at their cat, watch TV, watch TikTok, talk to my parents. As much detail as possible in your log is important. Again, if you look at that rubric, you can see that there's different point scales or different points that might be assigned to you. Based on what your log looks like. So look at that and then make some decision about how you want to do that. You can see that this person started to think about some of those sociological concepts that they might want to add for this assignment. This student kept their log in their phone and then took a screenshot. That's totally fine. This student hand wrote their notes and then sent me a picture of the handwriting. That's also totally fine. There's another student that I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can find it. That was the tiniest log ever. You probably don't want to do this one. Mostly because it doesn't offer very much for you. In this case, the student was actually just outdoors with their friends for 4.5, 5 hours. I don't expect him to have done all the writing here, but there's just not very much here for you to be able to go on. So try to be as detailed as possible. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to be able to look at your log and then provide some interpretation and analysis of your day. Um, when you look at your log, what kinds of sociological concepts does it bring to mind? By the time that you do this log at the end of module 2, you've been through about 7 or 8 sociology chapters, or you're in the middle of them somehow. And think about it when you're reading a textbook, all of those words that might be bold, in bold type, or all of those words that if you looked them up in the glossary or keywords to know for the chapter, that's where they'd be. The question is, when you look at your day, what of those concepts come to mind? You might think of stuff like status or role or culture or group or family, or they can be concepts that we haven't talked about yet, but you can see in the syllabus are coming up. There's no rule from me about which concepts that you can use, but I am expecting that you're picking out those types of concepts that are useful or significant for sociology. So choose 4 of them that come to mind. Remember, this person in their log, you can see that they were thinking about some of those words here, right? And it turns out that this might be the 4 that they decided to use, right? So your task then is to pick 4 concepts that come to mind when you look at your day. And then for each one of them, you will tell me what that concept is, define it, and then write 3 or 4 sentences that would help someone who's never taken this class understand why you picked that concept for the part of your day. So that means I have your log, and now you're going to talk about your day from the perspective of those concepts. You're going to do that for concept number 1, concept number 2, concept number 3, and concept number 4. You'll define it, and then you tell me why you chose it. The last part of this assignment is to use your sociological imagination. And essentially, what your sociological imagination encourages you to do is to think about yourself as an individual person, but to recognize that you are situated in a society, which means who you are, what you believe, how you act, how you feel, the choices that you make are usually going to be steeped in a history of that society. What you decided to eat for lunch that day, what kinds of things did you do when you held the door open for the person behind you? Did you take your shoes off when you walked inside your home? Those are your everyday activities, for instance. But why do you do them? If you stepped back as if you were a stranger in your society, what kinds of things are you going to see in individuals' behaviors that makes you understand those larger society structures? So I want you to think about those concepts, talk about those concepts in your day, but then step back even further and say, how does that fit in with these larger structures in my society, in my culture, in my family history? And talk a little bit deeper about a single one of those um, parts of your day, for instance. When you use your sociological imagination, what is it that you can talk about on any particular part of your day that maybe you hadn't thought about? Again, at the end of this template, be sure that you include your log, copy paste it, type it, snapshot, put the picture here. Doesn't really matter. I just need to be able to see your day the way that you saw your day. Remember that as you're typing, this isn't, your it's a Word document. It's going to move around. So don't be so concerned about that. I will create another template or something that people can copy and paste if they don't have Microsoft Word or they're not comfortable typing into this template or for whatever reason. Some people, small number of people may have some trouble with it. So instead of copy pasting the template, I'll give you something else that you can copy paste to make sure that you are doing everything that you need to do in the assignment. Let me see if there's anything here left to share. Well, that's it. Once you are done with the template, you use your computer to save it, and then you'll see down here that you will upload it into the assignment itself. Again, if you don't copy paste your log into the template and save it and upload it that way, you can upload it separately. This will allow you to upload more than one document. And that's it. If you have any questions, always let me know. You can see that I'm creating the video that I'll link here. And I'll also link that other template that I just mentioned without the formatting. And I think that's it. Thanks.